Hey guys, welcome to Queen Airbender Tarot. Today we are going to do your beginning of September collective reading. Now keep in mind it's a general reading, which means it cannot possibly apply to every single person that is watching. But if you would like a personal reading, all of the information will be pinned in the comment section below. In case you are new to the channel, welcome, come on in. And in case you're returning, thank you for joining me again today. And I hope that you guys are doing well. So let me tell you all, when I was meditating, I just felt like my heart felt really, really heavy. And then all of a sudden, when I heard the song, which I'm very fond of the song, and it makes a lot of sense. When I heard the song, it was like my heart started fluttering. It felt like a butterfly. And you guys know butterflies are symbolisms of freedom, evolution, healing. So let me share the song that I heard. The song that I heard was I Love You, I Hate You by Little Sims. Little spelled normal, and her name is Simz, Little Sims. Little Sims happens to be a Pisces sun, and you guys know I typically just get the sun sign for the artist, but something told me to look up her natal chart, and her moon is in Leo. So something could have happened in Leo season that we just got out of, and that could be a message for you all. But I also want to tap into this, and don't be offended because people tend to get offended when I talk about certain traits. I'm just talking about the negative trait, like blossoming, because we're getting blossoming and blooming into a more positive aspect, okay? I'm not saying that all people of this sign are like this. This is just the lower vibrational energy of that sign. So with her being a Pisces, Pisces is known for seeing things through rose-colored glasses. In other words, romanticizing a situation or seeing something in a way that's not 100% true, right? And I feel like that's the part with the I hate you. Because again, the name of the song is I Love You, I Hate You. That's the I hate you. Now with her Leo moon, the moon rules over your emotions and feelings, right? I feel like somebody's emotional strength, because Leo strength, power, pride, on that level, there's some healing coming. Like the delusion is feeling like you hate this person. For a lot of y'all, you felt for a long time like you absolutely hated this person. But I feel like there was no true clarity in regards to why situations turned out the way that they did. Even if somebody did you horrible, because that's what I'm getting. Because let me just break this down really, really quickly. In the song, she's talking about mainly her father and how he was absentee, and how she literally says in one of her lyrics, I can't believe my biggest heartbreak came from my parent. And she says, were you a sperm donor or were you a father? And you can tell she's angry. She even says at one point in the song that, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm angry. Like she says, even though I'm angry and I want to cuss you out, I'm not going to disrespect you. And then in other parts of the song, she mentions how, she understands why he did what he did to a certain degree. And then she also says, I have to remember at one point you were a little boy. So I feel like for a lot of y'all, there's somebody who did you so dirty, you would never, ever, ever, no matter what they did, you would never forgive them. But then empathy rolls in. Understanding rolls in. You don't see that situation through rose-colored glasses anymore. And I mean this for any situation. I'm not demonizing anyone. I'm not removing blame or removing, somebody's responsibility for their behaviors. I'm not doing that. That's not what this is about. What I'm picking up in this message is that even at the worst of the worst, in this time, keep in mind, we're in the month of September 9, the ninth month. The number 9 is about transitions and endings. So ending some hate that you had in your heart for somebody or a situation and allowing it to transition because you realize how much it has been keeping a hold on you. When we hate people and we have heavy energy, regardless of how bad they did us, we are giving it power. We are constantly feeding it. Love is power. Hate is power. Whenever you give something so much energy, you're feeding it. It's never going to heal. It's never going to go away. It's never going to dissolve. It's never going to have a conclusion until you realize, why do you feel that way? Say, for instance, somebody violated you, because I know this is going to be a thing, like if somebody violated you physically, sexually, emotionally, whatever, financially, you're like, I absolutely cannot forgive that. But here's when empathy comes in. And I know that could be very difficult to understand right now in this moment, but here's where empathy comes in. When you realize that motherfucker ain't right. Because people who right in their mind, body, and spirit, they don't do shit like that to people. You get what I'm saying? So it's not saying that you forgive this person, but you empathize with the fact, because you have become awakened. Because the higher vibration of the Piscean energy is like, then you don't have to be a Pisces. I'm just sharing this because the artist is a Pisces and I'm sharing the energy, okay? You don't have to have Pisces anywhere in your chart. I'm sharing the energy. The higher vibration of that is being so enlightened to the point where you get it, to a point where other people can't even comprehend the way you comprehend that situation. You're realizing like somebody violates someone does something wrong to someone in a horrible way. You'll say, I will never forget this person. But then you realize like, that's not normal. What that person did was not normal. They ain't wrapped too tight. So in 1 minute you look at it like, everybody has a choice. This person made a bad decision. They fucked up. I'm going to hate this person forever. But then as you evolve, because this is about evolving. In that song, she from the beginning of the story, she went to how much this person did her dirty, how hurt she was, to realizing like, okay, this person was a child themselves, and something in their childhood fucked them up. Maybe their father wasn't there. Maybe even their father was there. They felt absent. They felt invisible in front of their child. So they didn't know how to behave because they weren't shown properly. And I feel like for a lot of y'all, this is going to be a time of healing where you realize like, yeah, I can hate this person forever and I don't forgive what they did. And you don't have to forgive what this person did. But when you hit that part of empathy, that's when you're going to know that you healed. When you realize like this person fucked up and they can't get right. They can't do right. How am I going to be mad at somebody who ain't wrapped too tight? How am I going to be mad at something like that? Because that's not going to do anything to me. You know the saying how it goes. How you going to drink poison and think that you going to get rid of the other person? You drinking the poison, it's going to affect you. This hate in your heart or this anger in your heart that you held for a person or a situation, it has been affecting nobody but you. Because that other person's still out there possibly doing other people wrong, still doing, fucked up stuff. And because of this song, I feel like some of y'all, if you have, you're raising a child with someone and they're an absentee parent, you have so much hurt and hate in your heart because of how they're treating your child. That's a normal experience. That's a normal feeling. But I feel like you all are also going to go back and look at that situation like, now that I think about it, when this person was my partner, they didn't have a good relationship with their children prior to me. They didn't have a good relationship with their parents. Something about their family dynamic was toxic as hell. Why would I think that this person was capable of giving our child something different? And that's the part where you evolve, that number 9 energy. That's what this whole month, because this whole month is September, so this whole month is 9, transitions ending. You are transitioning into a state of awareness, and you are transitioning into moving out of that hate. Now you have understanding. You don't have to forgive this person because, the Bible and things like that, people preach, forgiveness, and that's on you. Everybody's free will, do what you want to do, okay? But I'm going to say this in all honesty. If you tell yourself, why forgive this person, but deep down in your heart, you know that you don't forgive this person, then you're lying to yourself. So it's bullshit. So this is why I say you can say like, I don't forgive this person because they're still doing wrong. It's absolutely a choice. But then when you empathize and realize like, I don't have to forgive this person, but I have to realize for my own personal healing, this person ain't right. And that's what a lot of you all are getting ready to experience during this particular time frame. Because I'm telling you, like my heart just felt heavy. It felt like something was so heavy, like a boulder was weighing on my chest. And then as I start hearing the lyrics of the song, it's just everything lightened up. I would suggest that you all really, really listen to the song. Whether you're dealing with issues from your childhood, relationship stuff, if you were victimized in any type of way, if you see your children going through hardships because of what was going on in family situations that you can't control, because you're doing your job, but then this other person isn't stepping in, listen to that song. Again, the name of the song is I Love You, I Hate You by Little Sims, S-I-M-Z. Listen to it, okay? So let's talk about the spirit animal that I got for you guys today. This spirit animal, and I've seen it so clearly, was a Rottweiler. Now, here's the thing about a Rottweiler. It's not just spirit animal dog, because of course that's a dog, but it's something very specific about that. Rottweilers, first of all, dogs are considered man's best friend. But Rottweilers, pit bulls, like dogs of those type of breeds, they are particularly known to be violent and aggressive dogs. But I'm not saying just naturally, just all the time. Of course, everything has triggers, but they're known for being, those type of dogs. And I knew that resonated specifically with that song, I Love You, I Hate You. Like Rottweiler being aggressive, that's the I hate you version of it. I love you is man's best friend, protector, because when you think about, or what I picked up from the Rottweiler spirit animal is associated with confidence, protection, courage. And, dogs can be seen as either vicious or man's best friend. And that's what I feel like, that energy like that. You could be angry like a Rottweiler about the situation, or you can be peaceful within about the situation. Like, you know what? I've made peace with it. I'm healing. And I'm not even finna be, I can't give it that much energy anymore. Something that also stood out to me about Rottweilers, like specifically known, they're like black and brown. They're very, very, anytime you Google a picture of a Rottweiler, because the one I seen in my vision, it was like around the eyes, it was brown, the stomach part and the neck was brown, and then the rest was all black. Black talks about for me, with this message, the abyss. Because if you think about the abyss is bottomless. You can't see beyond anything in the abyss. So that's like dropping those emotions, dropping that hate, removing it into the abyss. If something goes into the abyss, it's never coming back. So that's what Spirit is telling you. Like, I release those emotions into the abyss and ground yourself, like the brown part of the dog, that earthiness. See, I knew the colors of the dog was going to resonate spiritually. When I think about brown energy, I think about the dirt, the roots. Bury that. You know what I'm saying? Bury it into the abyss. And then ground yourself, because you can't give certain things any more power. It just doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I don't have to preach this to you. You're going to feel that during this month. Right now, as you listen to this, you might be like, Queen Airbender, shut your ass up. And you can feel like that. That's fine. I understand. I've been there. I've been there where there was somebody I hated with all of my mind, body, and soul. And I mean that. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to keep it funky with y'all. But I had to go through that transition where I realized, like, what is me hating this person going to do? And also, I realized that not only did I have empathy, but I had almost pity. And I know that doesn't sound like a nice thing, but I almost had pity for this person, because I'm like, this person ain't right in the mind. And their life is never going to be abundant because of the way that they operate. So while I'm sitting here beating myself up and feeling these feelings, honestly, this person is far worse off because they fucked up. You know, you can't do anything about somebody else's transgressions or anything like that. You gotta deal with your shit. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about names. First, middle, last name, street name, business name, put it where it applies. Simbi, this artist goes by Simbi. I think her name is Simbiatu. She's she grew up in England, but she's African. So if I said it wrong, my apologies, but she goes by Simbi. Ray, CK, White, Madison, Rashad, Bailey, Wayne, Katrina, Jenkins, Orr, so ORR, Curtis, Reeves, Freeman. Of course, like I said, I'm getting England, and I also got Atlanta and New York as far as locations. Now, if those things don't resonate, that does not mean the reading is not for you. Those are just additional messages that I got for someone out there. So let's go ahead. We're going to get into your reading. We want the sun and we want the moon. We want the card that comes before and the card that comes after. And then we will get clarifiers for our collective reading. I feel like just really a weight is coming off of somebody's chest. I'm feeling like, and when you think about the heartbreak, if weight comes off your chest, that heart is no longer broken or it's healing. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel as heavy anymore. Bottom of the deck. Oh my God. What did I say? Healing. Look at what we got here. Star card talks about what? Wish fulfillment and healing. That's major arcana. That is definite. Some of you all may not have seen or heard from someone specific since Aquarius season, January, February time frame. This also could be involving someone who has strong Aquarius in their chart. Doesn't have to be. It could be just like I mentioned before, healing. She's sitting in water. She's pouring out water. Water is the emotions and feelings. So she's sitting with her feelings. She's sitting with her emotions, and she's realizing it's time for me to release. Because if she's pouring from that jug, she's releasing. Male and female, you are releasing everything that has been holding you down in regards to a situation. Because she has two bases, it could be involving two situations, two people. Okay? I feel like you also have eyes on you, people who are keeping tabs on you or asking about you. It's like you could be, especially if it's one of those situations like somebody that you have a child with, and they could be asking your family members or some other family member, like somebody that's close to you, like, well, how's my son or how's my daughter? And you're like, why are you asking them? Why don't you come and check on your child? I'm getting something where this person is somehow trying to see what's going on. Because you see how I'm looking at this right here, these are like eyes. You see that? It looks just like those eyes on my ring. Just like it. So I feel like somebody is trying to keep tabs on you. But also I'm going to tell you, I wear evil eye to block out negative forces and energy from seeing into whatever I got going on. You can't see me. Every eye will go blind. And I feel like that's what Spirit is doing for you. Anybody that's asking about you who doesn't mean you well, they won't be able to see into anything that's involving your life. They can ask all the questions they want to. They will never get the truth. They will never get the facts. And that's what I'm getting. Because they don't deserve you or your child. Because for some of you all, it's definitely some child-related situation. And then for some of you all, it's some childhood wounding that you have to heal. Pages are young, youthful. They still got growing and expanding to do. And it's interesting because I was talking about emotional healing, and then you got, of all the pages, the Page of Cups. Cups is your emotions and feelings. I was talking about that evolving. You got butterflies here. Was I not talking about this earlier? And the butterflies aren't behind him or flying away from him. They're flying towards him or her, depending on the child. Some of y'all may have a child that is a water sign, a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. Yeah. Then I say walk away from things that are no longer emotionally fulfilling. The Eight of Cups, back is facing us because he's walking on, and there's a lot of like facing emotions and feelings. He's looking at the moon. The moon rules over your emotions and feelings. So that's confirmation. Yeah, for some of y'all, it's dealing with your childhood or an actual child. Okay? You got another page here. You see how his leg is in motion, like he's getting ready to walk, leaving it behind and moving on. Because it's like, ding, aha moment. Like you're realizing, like, I can't sit here and hold on to that. And for some of you all, not only do you need to help yourself heal, but you need to help your child heal, regardless of how old they are, even if they're a young adult. Because this artist that I'm talking about, she's 31 years old and she still harbors, or for the longest, she was harboring that hurt towards her father for not being there. So even if they're young adults, even if they could be in their 50s and just realize, like, they just be sitting talking to you one day and just say, like, I realized that my relationships in my life didn't work because I didn't have a prominent mother figure, a prominent father figure in my life. I didn't have that person. And so I didn't know how to interact with that type of people. And, it's just about healing. And I'm telling you, the more and more I talk about it, it's like I'm purging. My heart feels lighter. And I feel like a lot of y'all, that's exactly how you're going to feel. Okay. So there, look, sun. I said, I want the sun and moon. Hello. Wasn't I talking about, I said, for some reason, I never get the artist's zodiac signs as far as their moon, but her moon is in Leo. I knew I was meant to get that, y'all. So in front of you, you still got the Page of Wands. This could be Leo, Sag, Aries. That's Leo, and that's Leo. So there could be some involvement with a Leo, or like I said, something could have happened in Leo season, and you're needing to work on healing involving, surrounding that situation. Wheel of Fortune, fated and destined. It's fated and destined for this, however this situation played out. And I told you, for a lot of y'all, it has something to do with childhood or your children, okay, for real. However this situation played out, it was fated and destined to happen that way. Like even a heartbreak. And people will be like, why would heartbreak? Why would someone want me to hurt? Hurt transforms you. Because a lot of the time when we go through heartbreak and pain, you know what happens? We reach out to, we seek a way to heal it. So be it you do it via religion or spirituality or whatever, you're going to do something. It's going to trigger something. And that's what needed to happen. Because once something's triggered, it starts the healing process. Regardless of how long it takes, it starts the healing process. Because there's healing. And then also with the Wheel of Fortune, outside of being fate and destiny, keyword fortune. You are so fortunate. I feel like for a lot of y'all, you are so fortunate to realize how this has weighed you down, how this has affected you. Now you're allowed to be abundant in your own personal space, in your own personal health, because you're no longer going to continue to entertain it. Anything that's been weighing you down, you're no longer entertaining it. But like I said, it's something involving children. This is another card with butterflies in it. You know what I mean? There's a butterfly on each side of her. So that's what I'm telling you. Remember with that Page of Cups, we had butterflies. Six of Cups, you got butterflies. So somebody definitely has some water in their chart. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or like I said, the water could just simply resonate with the emotions and feelings. You know what I mean? For some of y'all, your child has not seen the other parent since they were 6 years old or since they were 6 months old. Very interesting and unfortunate if that's the case. But here's the thing, think about this also. They did you all a favor, because if they were shitty enough to not be in your life, then guess what? If they were under the same roof as you, be it when you were a child or with someone that you have a child with, they would have made you guys' life heal. And that's the part where you go from I hate you to I love you. I love you enough to play yourself out of our life because you would have made us miserable. You get what I'm saying? So right here you have the moon, right in front of it you have the Four of Cups. This is going to go back to what I was saying. You're going to start seeing things from a different perspective. For many years, for much of your time, because the cups are on the side of him, you could have felt like that was fucked up. But then now you're seeing it from a different perspective. Look how he's looking at that cup. He's not reaching out to accept it, but he's also, it has his attention. And I feel like Spirit is like spilling the tea. You see how that hand is coming from the sky? Spirit is like, I want you to look at this from a different point of view. Go ahead and drink from this cup so that you can see what's truly going on behind the scenes, because it's something that you didn't know about this situation. Four of Cups here. You got the moon. And then behind it, you have Major Arcana, the Emperor. Now, people going to get mad because I see men in the comment section saying like, well, you only do readings for women and blah, blah, blah. That's not true. But I will say that he is definitely the ultimate Emperor. Okay, he does that ultimate masculine energy in tarot, right? It could be somebody who definitely has daddy issues. And I definitely told you, all, that artist and that song, she has daddy issues. That's what she was talking about. And this is not, knocking her or speaking bad on her, because I honor what this woman was saying, because you know what? She's acknowledging it, and that's the first step to healing. Acknowledging, I hate this person. I hate how they treated me. I hate how they made me feel. I hate this person because of how they made me feel. So she's taking back her power. Because the emperor is someone who's very powerful. They rule. He's standing over a whole kingdom. There's a whole kingdom in gold in the background. So it's like this person had so much power, so much rank, so much reign in somebody's situation, Now also, I'm going to flip it, because I'm getting, the spirit just told me it's also, if you are a masculine and you have a situation where there's a baby mother, or, a mother or a father, something in your personal life where you felt wronged. You felt like people didn't respect you. You felt like they just did you dirty. I feel like you're taking control. You're going to step up, especially with some child support related stuff or child visitation rights and things like that. I feel like some of you all, because he has a scroll here, it's a game plan. I feel like for some of y'all, you are going to take the steps necessary to be in your child's life. You know what I mean? I'm getting that as well. Because he's like literally the ultimate father figure. So for a lot of y'all, there is a masculine, because I want you to see this outside of these majors, because major, kind of major, major. And even here, that's a male lion. With the mane, you can tell that's a male lion. Outside of these, every single character is masculine. So someone definitely has some strong feelings towards a masculine figure. Or if you are, like I said, if you are masculine, I feel like you are about to boss up in a major way, and you're about to stand on business, because he's standing up in regards to what you need to do. Someone has been bound for the longest. Right up under this emperor, you had the hangman stuck and bound. There's chains. It's keeping you in limbo. Why are you allowing this to keep you in limbo? It's understandable what you're going through, but they're saying release it. Because see, these pentacles are being released. And for a lot of y'all, like I said, this is something involving your foundation, or something that has roots in your life, because the pentacles are dropping. Pentacles are associated with things that are rooted in your life. Foundations, things like that. So that's why I said I'm getting two different messages. Like this could be something from your childhood, your foundation. And then for others, this is something with somebody that you're co-parenting with or trying to co-parent with, but they're not helping. I'm also getting somebody could have like even an ex, because he's a divine counterpart. So even an ex or something could have did things to fuck up your finances, and you're paying off debts and stuff like that this person left you in. I'm getting that as well for a small fraction of you all. And then you have the major arcana, the Hierophant, another masculine. You got nothing but masculines throughout this. You know what I mean? All of this is masculine energy. So it's strong focus on masculine energy, either needing to heal a situation, needing to address a situation, or somebody needing to heal from something that a masculine did. And I said this earlier, for some of y'all, it's two people, okay? If you notice, he's in between two birds. And if you notice, there's two people here and there's two keys. Keys give you access, but those keys are crossed. So some of you all are cutting off access to yourself. You're not allowing this person to access you energetically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. You're not allowing that shit no more. It's not happening. Major arcana. This is one of our other divine counterparts. You got the Emperor and the Hierophant. Those both are divine counterparts. So for some of y'all, this could be a spouse, okay? Or an ex, Like, I'm also getting, like, if some of you all divorced someone ever since the divorce, now this person doesn't want to step up and be a parent. You know what I mean? Like, people get petty like that. You got the Seven of Wands, guardedness, defensiveness, protection, blockages. A lot of you all felt, look at his face, like rage. You want to fight. You want to go on an attack, be it physically or just spiritually, emotionally. I feel like for a lot of you all, you're making peace. I seen the moon. So keep in mind, the moon resonates with Pisces, and that artist is a Pisces. So I just seen the moon, and there's the sun. Wow. Sun and the moon. I just seen that. There's healing. And I'm going to say again, something with a masculine for sure. For sure, and there's something with children. I can't make this up, y'all. So the moon is masculine. The sun is, the moon is feminine and the sun is masculine. And that's what I'm saying. We keep getting all this masculine energy here. So someone has some daddy issues, be it your own father or the father of your children. And again, if you are a father watching this or a masculine watching this, it's saying that you're going to be healing something in regards to people who violated you, or you felt like you didn't have access to something comforting, nurturing, stable when you were younger. Or if you have a partner or ex that is like keeping you from seeing your children, because now you have the sun in reverse, which means the child's in reverse, you can't see. You know, you're not seeing this child. I feel like you all are going to be going to fight for some rights. You have the Queen of Cups. She has a lid on that cup. Now, cups is your emotions and feelings. Again, I feel like there's a feminine who's dealing with something with a masculine. Because, I mean, masculine, even masculine here. And then we just had the sun. Keeping a lid on those emotions. And look at how she's looking at that cup. It's like her realizing, like, okay, I have control over it. Because she has a cup in her hand. Okay, she's controlling it. Which means she realizes that I have control over my emotions and feelings. I can't keep giving this person power. Now, also, again, I'm going to say, if you are a father and there's an issue with you not seeing your child, it's like her keeping the child from you because there's a lid on it. If there's a lid in it, you don't have access to what's inside of it. So I do get that as well. Okay. I just heard one last shuffle. And we're going to go ahead and get the cards for the moon first and then the sun. Currently at the bottom of the deck, I told you. What's the name of the song, y'all? I love you. I hate you. That's the name of the song. I love you. I hate you. Somebody's heartbroken right now. I can't make this up. Somebody is extremely heartbroken right now. But the healing's coming because I want you to realize the sun is the new day. The moon is the present or the past. Okay? The sun is what's getting ready to come into the future. The sun is always associated with the future, right? And I feel like you guys are going to be walking away from things that was you harbored hurt or hate or ill will towards because of what was done to you. I don't feel like you guys just being hateful or angry. I feel like something was done to you. And somebody victimized you. But what I'm also hearing is somebody victimized you, but you're realizing you are not the victim. You get, if that makes sense. Somebody victimized you, but you are telling yourself, I'm absolutely not a victim because victims don't have control over a situation. You have control over the situation. And you're realizing that now. And that's why you're moving forward. That's why that leg is in motion, because you're moving forward. And you're moving forward with power and strength. Fire is always associated with power. Tenacity. You know what I mean? So let's get a clarifier for our Four of Cups. Universal energies of light, love, and divine protection. Give me a clarifier for the Four of Cups associated with the moon. Okay? Look what you got here. Hello? Did we not just get this at the very beginning of this deck? Before we even started the reading. You're healing. Star card, wish fulfillment and healing. Absolutely beautiful. Whatever information comes into you spiritually, it's going to help you heal. And again, I'm going to say there could be an Aquarius involved. I'm going to move this over so you guys can see. There could be an Aquarius involved for some of you all, but I'm just getting, this is mainly about healing. You guys are healing. That's happening. That is happening for you. And I'm going to say again, I feel like it's happening right now. It's starting right now. The healing is beginning right now for a lot of you all. You're starting to realize, like, I got to release this because she's pouring. She's pouring from those vases. You realize I have to heal from this because it's just weighing me down. It's like an anchor. You know what I mean? But not in a positive way. Anchors could either help you remain stable and in place and secure, or they could just weigh you down in an unhealthy way. I'm going to say again, it's something with a negative masculine figure in your life. Because right, they're sitting there throwing their power of prominence. In reverse, they abuse their power. You know what I mean? This is someone who is abusive of their power and their authority. Kings are either rulers or, you know, they also resonate with father figures as well. Just like the queen rules and she's also a mother figure. Let's get a clarifier for the Emperor. Universal energies of light. There you go. Huh. This crazy. This is how you know this reading is meant to. Look, if this reading touches you, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know, like, this resonates. Let me know that, you know, you feel it. Let me know in the comment section, do you feel the healing? If so, if you don't even have any extra words for it, just put in all caps. I always tell you, all caps, because that's claiming it. You shouting it to the rooftop. I feel the healing. That's all you got to say. Even if you don't feel it in this moment right now, claim that. I feel the healing. Not I will heal, not I want to heal. No. You claim it right now. I feel the healing. If you know this resonates with you in one way, shape, and form, just put that. If you can't think of anything else, say, I feel the healing. Because something happened in somebody's childhood. Remember in the beginning, in this deck, one of the first cards we had was the Page of Damn Cups. You got in reverse. Upright, he's holding on to that cup. In reverse, you're pouring it out. You're releasing it. And also in reverse, this is someone who didn't feel seen, because upside down, you're not seeing the way that you should be seen. A child doesn't feel seen. Someone hasn't seen their child. If this is your situation and you're a parent, they haven't seen their child. They haven't done for their child. I'm telling you, even these are the first couple cards that we had, and you got it here again in a completely different deck. So this is how we know this message on point. That's crazy. Strength card. So you got this Leo energy again. There you go with that line right there. Let me tell you something. Just like I said about that woman and how she was saying, that's why I urge you to listen to that song. Listen to the lyrics. If you don't like the beat or something like that, just Google and read the lyrics. Like, put the name of the song in there, read the lyrics of what she's saying, and this is exactly what we're getting right here. Literally what we're getting right here. Okay? She even said, like, I had to understand at one point he was a child. She was talking about her father. He did her dirty. He wasn't there. But she realized he was a child. Maybe his childhood was fucked up. Maybe his father, because that's a father and a child there. Maybe his father didn't even give a fuck about him. So how did he know how to be a father? This is why I said the empathy is going to come in, because, see, he's kind of leaning this way like he could look at that child, but really look at his face. He's not paying attention to that damn child. So this child feels unseen. If he's upside down, he feels unseen. So maybe this child went through something. Hell, the father could have been in this person's life. But then guess what? He might have been abusive. He might have been, all he did is work. Even if he wasn't abusive, he could have worked so much that he missed all the milestone moments in his children's lives. And so that's why this person's like that, because they didn't have a role model to show them that, male or female. I'm just saying masculine because we keep getting this masculine energy, but I know a lot of deadbeat ass mamas too. Y'all know that. Your mama, my mama, anybody's mama could do it. This is not a gender thing. This is a reality thing. This is a life thing. This is situations that happen, right? But going back to this, something happened in their childhood. And they didn't know, we are all here just living, you know what I'm saying? Just experiencing life. And you never know what somebody has endured and how it's affected them long term. And so they don't know how to do right. And not saying it's okay, because again, it's a choice, but they never had an example. So they didn't know what to do. And I feel like you guys are going to realize that, like, shit, this person was, you know, it's crazy. Strength card reverse, they're not the strongest. The opposite of strength is weakness. They are not the strongest of character. So how could they provide strength in a connection? How could they have strong morals when they don't have strong character to begin with? And it's interesting because I said the artist, she's a Leo moon. Upright, this could be a Leo sun. Reverse for me, that's Leo moon. So yeah, you could be dealing with somebody, or whoever this person is could have a Leo moon. If you're watching, your moon could be in Leo, and it ties into the fact that, hey, listen to these details because this message is for you. Okay, a couple cards flipped out. I'm not taking them, but I do want to look at them because they landed like right here on the moon. Now it's upright. Yes, yes. Come on now. You got the Two of Wands. You need to choose a destination or direction to go in. You're leaving the past behind and you're moving forward. I like that. You have the High Priestess. It's interesting because we had the Hierophant earlier, and her divine counterpart is, that's the divine counterpart for the High Priestess. So there could have been some dynamics with mother, father, divorces. When you grew up, you went through a divorce, you went through a separation from someone. You're no longer with the other parent. Someone involved could be first, middle, last initial B, T, J, P, R, M, S, W, or H. Also, I feel like your intuition, you're getting downloads, spiritual downloads that's letting you know, like, hey, it's time for you to move on from that. It's going to make you the stronger person. It's going to build your character. You can't let this person control you and your emotions. Let's get a clarifier for, wow, bottom of the deck. Clarifier for the Page of Wands, you got the Devil in reverse. Absolutely. Because see, when you allow that anger and rage to harbor, you are bound to that. People don't look at it like that. But if you think about hate, that's what it's all about, ain't it? You got it in reverse, which means you are healing, like I said before. Absolutely. Let's get a clarifier for this Page of Wands. Universal energies. Okay, one fell out and it landed on top of sideways, but more so upright, so I'm going to take it like that. But it landed right on top of, as you can see, the Major Arcana Star card. You got the Knight of Wands, and it's like I said, it was more so upright, so upright in this position, it would be in reverse. Some of y'all were ready to continue to fight, continue to have war, or be in battle, because he's running into battle. A lot of y'all were still embattled by this, but in reverse, they're saying like, nope, you're no longer hanging on to that. You're walking away. You're moving on. And that's good. Sagittarius could be involved. Doesn't have to be. Bottom of the deck. Yes. What I say, you guys moved on, didn't I? Didn't I? And also something did happen in Leo season. You got a lot of Leo stuff here. Leo, 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 Leo. You know, this is Sag predominantly, but, you know, it's a minor, so it can apply to any fire sign. So you got a lot of Leo here. And we just left Leo season, so that definitely could have taken place. But travel distance, forward movement. You guys are moving forward, but here's the thing. She's looking in this direction, but her body is going in this direction. So it's like for a lot of y'all currently, you're stuck in between. She's stuck in the middle. You're stuck in between healing and, you know, being like, okay, I can't move on. Because this is about movement. One cycle ending, another cycle beginning. I said since the beginning that 9 energy is about transitioning. Some of you all are right in the middle of a transition is what I'm getting. Because she's in the middle of everything. And also with the elements, you know, you have Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius energy. You got Aquarius here. Leo, all at the whole top row associated with Leo. Scorpio, if you think about Scorpio, the major arcana for Scorpio is Death card, endings. So that's major also. And then Taurus, we did have the Hierophant earlier on, which is Taurus. So someone could be involved in, you know, it could be involved in a Taurus. But also traditionally, the Hierophant talks about traditional values, your upbringings, and things like that. So you could be just dealing with stuff like that as well. Like when my mother tells me stories, both her parents were born in Greenwood, Mississippi. And, you know, when people, especially melanated people, grew up in the South, there was a very strict, like when she talks about how my grandfather disciplined her and her siblings and things like that, it was rough. Like I would never raise my children like that. And so when you grew up in a certain type of way, then you pass that down to your children. They have to make a conscious decision not to be like that. You know what I mean? My mother told me one time, one of my uncles, and I, granted, no shades of my grandfather, because this uncle in particular, he was an asshole, and he still is, okay? To this day, he's still an asshole. She said he did something so egregious to my grandfather, but it was more so the way he spoke to him, that my grandfather shot at him. Like, literally shot at him. I would never think of doing no shit like that to my kids. You know what I mean? But sometimes you pass that shit down. And that's toxic as all hell. But you have to make a choice. You know? So outside of the whole shooting thing, just think about how he dealt with anger. How he dealt with discipline. He felt like, you know what I mean? This is how I'm responding to this. You disrespected me, so I'm going to shoot at you. Now, what if that would have hit? What if it would have struck? You would have lost your child because what? Anger? And for some of you all just hearing something like that, this is just my example, but you may have grown up with grandparents or parents who used to use a switch. You know, different strokes for different folks. People discipline their children in different ways. I can't even tell you, I have 2 children. I count on one hand for both of my children how many times they've ever been disciplined. It had to be something crazy, crazy, crazy. Because I don't believe in stuff like that. I don't believe you should even discipline your children when you're angry, because you're going to respond differently than how you would if you were calmer. So maybe this is a message for some of you all, like, don't address anything with your children until you can sit back and analyze it. Because it's kind of like he's sitting back. Let me look at this in a different perspective. Because for some of you all, now that I'm getting this message and I was meant to share that story, I feel like for some of you all, it may be you. There's various messages here, but it may be you. You may need to realize that you are doing the same thing, the same toxic way of dealing with things that you have seen growing up, and you got to stop that shit. You can't move forward with that, because this is a journey moving forward. And reverse that, saying like you can't move forward with that. You shouldn't be that same type of parent. You know what it did to you, so why would you want to do this to your child? You got 2 children here. Pages are youth, regardless of how old they are. Whether they're toddlers or whether they're young adults, they're still the youth. So some of you all need to deal with it. It may be that you don't have a healthy relationship with your child because you didn't have a healthy relationship with your parents. You didn't know how to do that. So that may be a message for someone out there as well. Let's get a clarifier for the Wheel of Fortune. Universal energies of light, love, and divine protection. And I have to say shout out to my sisters, because I know one of my sisters definitely watches my readings. I'm not trying to be shady, but I'm sharing the story because Spirit puts us out there for us to share certain things. And that's the reality. Like, you would never think to do some shit like that. I would absolutely never think to do something like that. But some people grow up in some of the most chaotic situations, and it molds them. And me sharing that story is to let you know I understand, because I've heard the stories. I've lived certain realities. You know what I mean? And it does mold you. Me and my mother had a very volatile relationship growing up. Literally, physically. I don't do that with my children because I know how it made me feel. So there's a message out there for somebody in regards to something with your childhood, your children. It's very, yeah, taking a leap of faith into something new. The Fool card. It's time for you to go in a different direction. It's a new day, starting from scratch. You got 0 there. It's time. And that's a major arcana, so that's definite. Universal energies of light, love, and divine protection. Give me a clarifier. Wow. And it's landed right on top of that child again. I'm telling y'all. And it's face down, so that's something that's unknown. So I feel like somebody doesn't know how their childhood affected them, how they're affecting their child, how you may be talking to your children, and you have a conversation. You realize this child has always felt like this about you. Again, regardless if they're young adults or whatever. 2 of Pentacles. So I say this like 2 people for some of y'all. There's 2 ships, relationships. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It's relationships that you have with people. Someone could be a water sign because you have it on 3 waves here. Someone could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You got in reverse. So somebody is like having a hard time juggling with how to deal with a situation. But I feel like, again, the healing is coming in because here's the thing. This is clarifying, okay? The 2 of Pentacles is clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is like fortune, abundance. In reverse is like lack. But anything that a major arcana comes with, a major trumps it. So you're going through this situation with trying to balance your emotions, balance your feelings, balance the understanding of why things happen the way that they did. But, you know, it's fated and destined for everything that you're going through right now to transform, to shift. Healing should happen. And I'm going to tell you, I am getting something where someone went through some type of physical stuff as a child, or like physical abuse, or seeing their other parent being physically abused, or the pain hurt so bad it was like a slap to the face, like a constant slap to the face. You know what I mean? That's how painful it feels for somebody up there. And somebody's still hanging. That energy is still lingering, still hanging. He's lingering in the air. That's still, you know, hurtful. And this is crazy. I want you guys to see. I'm not even moving these cards, but look here. Right up under him, you have the Knight of Wands. Somebody's current, because he's upright. Somebody's still on that journey, still going through those emotions and feelings, but you will release it because you're like, I'm not going to keep moving forward and going on the journey, dealing with that type of emotion. You're giving it power, is what I'm saying. The healing needs to take precedence, you know, and it will. Because the major arcanas that you have are right. This is taking control. This is fate and destiny playing a role in a positive way. And this is healing. These major arcanas here lets us know that you won't have healing. But right now, you're in the middle of that transition. And for a lot of y'all, you're in the middle of seeing and getting those, those downloads that, okay, you didn't think this was an issue. You didn't think that this is why you act this way. You didn't think that this is why that person acted that way. You don't have to forgive them. I know a lot of people will say, forgive them and move on. I'm never going to tell you that, because I'm not going to tell you to be phony. I'm going to tell you to be authentic to yourself. If you can't forgive them for what they did to you, if you can't forgive them for what they did to your children, that's understandable in this moment, because eventually you'll heal and move on from it completely. But in this moment, that's understandable. But what you absolutely must do is not allow it to control you. See it for what it is, and that's going to help you heal and move on. And that's what you got here. I'm telling you, my heart feels so much lighter. Just even talking about this, my heart feels at peace. So somebody's going to have peace. Peace, mind, body, spirit, heart. Somebody needs to work on their heart chakra. And getting that as well. If you're into crystals, the crystals to associate with the heart chakra is rose quartz, jade, aventurine. You can wear clear quartz too, because clear quartz is for everything. But definitely those main ones that I just mentioned. Okay, so thank you guys so very much for watching Queen Airbender Tarot. As always, I'm going to ask that you continue to like, share, subscribe. And until next time, take care. Be well. Bye.